This is Hannibal from thehannibaltv.com. Right now we're looking at Dan Severn's wrestling plaque at ASU, and I'll pan down to Mr. Severn now.
That was a much younger Dan Severn back in the day.
Yes, the joke is we actually walked by this once and you look so different on the plaque.
Well, again, it's minus the mustache, so most people are like, really? Sure, that's even me. Well, yeah, I guess I have to do a little paste on. It'll look like a younger Dan Severn.
So when did you get your own plaque on the wall here at ASU?
I think, well, actually this will be the very first Hall of Fame induction I've ever had. That was back in 1984. So I went to college here from 76 to 81, 5 years, redshirting 1 year. Then 5 more years as assistant wrestling coach, and I just know that by 1984, that's when I was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Now,
but the thing that kind of surprised me about it, because I always thought you had to be done with your sport when they induct you, and I even asked that to them at that point then, but I'm not done. And they're like, well, but you've achieved all these things, we still want to induct you. So I thought, okay. You may want to bring me back again down the road because I'm going to add a few more things. You know, lo and behold, I didn't think I'd be add as many as I could add now, but it's kind of cool.
What are some of your many accolades in amateur wrestling and coaching here at ASU for those that don't know?
Oh, well, I'll just say that as an amateur wrestler, just as an individual amateur wrestler, I was a 3-time All-American, 2-time high school state champion, a national freestyle champion, national Greco-Roman champion, most pinned award recipient, outstanding wrestler award, and of course in my 4 years as simply a high school athlete, I set and held 8 national records simultaneously, which was a record in itself because no athlete had ever held that many records. I was a really strong pinner, and it even carried over into my freshman year at Arizona State, going 34-0 before a knee injury, and pinning 5 out of the 6 NCAA place finishers that year, including both gold and silver medalists from previous Olympics.
Now you say you were a really strong pinner. What would be some of the techniques that you were most successful with when making your pins?
I was good at breaking people down. Once I took them down to the mat, I was just good at wearing on an athlete to wear very tenacious. I just continued to keep the pressure on. I've never let them get an escape. Just continue to turn them over. Put in, the ultimate thing to do in the sport of amateur wrestling is to put them on the back and to hold them there for basically a couple seconds and get in what is known as the pin. And I was just really good at doing that, and I was just good at a few different techniques, like cradles, for example. I was just known as a cradle king. I could throw almost anybody in a cradle and make it work. But just for being that tenacious wrestler that simply just wore you down and broke you down, physically and mentally.
And we're in the arena here at Arizona State University. Took some pictures of you in here earlier. You actually amateur wrestled in this very arena.
Yeah, the pictures that you'll be putting up probably at a different time show the basketball court, and we used to hold our wrestling meets right out on the basketball court. They just roll out the wrestling mats, set chairs on both sides for the visiting team, the home team, and then have like a little warm-up area behind the chairs to where the opponents could warm up, and then the home team could also warm up. And that's where a lot of the matches were held, were right here, and even a couple of tournaments were held right here on the basketball floor as well.
Very good. Anyone in particular stand out to you as a special night for you in this arena?
As a special
night for you, like you had so many, but where the crowd was particularly big perhaps, and you had a big win or anything like that?
Well, again, just because I'll just say that my freshman year was a very magical year for me. To be a true freshman and to be just such a pin and winning streak, you know, they were all kind of very magical to me, because a lot of people were just, each time I walked out onto the mat, people were getting all revved up because they were just, I was just know that, you'll be lucky to see if you're going to make it out of the first period. That would be something remarkable, because I was just so good at pinning people, and I would pin people usually within the first minute.
Wow.
You know, I just would overwhelm them with just so many things. I just, you know, barrage them with so many different things that, again, they underestimate even the power and stuff like that I could conjure up, and just really good at that word tenacious keeps coming up. Being very tenacious and would not stop.
Any highlights as a coach?
I mean, as a coach, again, you take pride because you see the other young men that are in there working towards a goal, and then to see them achieve that success. So you're like, as a coach, you're basically like a surrogate father in a lot of different ways. So I mean, I kind of have lived many different lives through different athletes, because just seeing them achieve their success and then going out to other things. Because I've had Arizona State University has a unique distinction in a couple different ways. It's been associated with the Sunkist Wrestling program since 1976 as well. I'm actually the first original Sunkist kid. If you actually look at the Sunkist Wrestling promotion, it's a huge, it's all based upon amateur wrestling, and it has a honor roll of people that have been involved in the Sunkist program. And now Arizona State is also being known as more MMA fighters have come out of the Sunkist Arizona State program than any other university inside the United States.
Wow, very good. Well, thanks for giving us the tour of your section of the Arizona State Sports Hall of Fame. You are also in the Dan Gable, the Luthez George Tragos Hall of Fame that Dan Gable is involved with.
It's for amateur wrestling, professional wrestling, but then they also have a wing for strictly the state of Iowa wrestling as well.
What did you think about Gable getting the Presidential Medal of Honor?
Oh, I mean, he's definitely deserving. I mean, that's one thing I'll say in a very positive note there about President Trump. He was good about recognizing both people in the amateur wrestling world, but then also into the mixed martial arts world. So he actually recognized a lot of different athletes.
So I was there for your induction for that Hall of Fame in Iowa, which people can look up on the Hannibal TV if they want to watch it. What are some of the other Hall of Fames that you're in?
Well, I'm going to say this one way or the other, and one way will be correctly. I'm either in 20 Hall of Fames and have 30 belts, or I have 30 belts and I'm in 20 Hall of Fames. It's one or the other, so I mean, I'll just say a bunch, but they fall between amateur wrestling, professional wrestling, but then also mixed martial arts. That's kind of like my three different arenas that I have been involved in and I've been recognized in.
Very good. Anything you want to say to wrap it up here at the Arizona State University Sports Hall of Fame?
Well, the biggest thing I could probably say in wrapping it up right here is I kept mentioning the words student athlete, because if I did not have a certain GPA, grade point average, I would not have been allowed to compete in athletics. So I'm very happy with the fact that I graduated with a degree, a bachelor. It falls in the category of Bachelor of Arts, and I had the category of being an industrial arts teacher. So think of Dan Severn as your shop teacher, but I also had a couple years in construction engineering, and then I had basically almost 3 years in a master's program, Master's of Education with a field of specialization. Field of specialization was into manufacturing, so I gave myself a lot of options. And I left Arizona State to take a job at Michigan State, and that's where my master died on the vine, because this was way before doing online classes. So had that been an opportunity, I would have finished up my master's.
And of course, you're also in the UFC Hall of Fame. Who inducted you?
For the UFC Hall of Fame, I don't remember right now. I mean, I was inducted literally at a live show.
Oh, it was
that I went out, that I was recognized in that. But it's not like what they do now. Now they actually have different coaches or representatives that, like I helped Don Fry in his induction into the Hall of Fame. And that's the only other person that I have helped so far.
Very good. We'll let you close this up.
Well, again, I'll just be big about make certain that you train both that body and that mind, and you use that mind more than your body, because your mind will continue to carry you on, whereas as you get older, your body will start to fail you. So take care of both the best you possibly can.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.